There's going to be a presentation ceremony of the giant trophy, which signifies that UGBS are 2024 champions. So let's welcome them with a hearty round of applause as they receive the trophy.
This means a lot. We are super excited. They've really shown professionalism.
Improve the experience and compliance.
Yes, that is correct.
Champions who have held the trophy for more than 365 days.
You said you used to test hypothesis.
T-test.
No, please.
Radio frequency identification.
Yes.
Congratulations, guys. It's not easy. Let a round of applause flow for our 2024 Tertiary Business Science Challenge champions, the University of Ghana Business School. There's going to be a presentation ceremony of the giant trophy, which signifies that UGBS are 2024 champions. So let's welcome them with a hearty round of applause as they receive the trophy.
This means a lot. We are super excited. They've really shown professionalism.
Improve the experience and compliance.
Yes, that is correct.
Champions who have held the trophy for more than 365 days.
You said you used to test hypothesis.
T-test.
No, please.
Radio frequency identification.
Yes.
Congratulations, guys. It's not easy. Let a round of applause flow for our 2024 Tertiary Business Science Challenge champions, the University of Ghana Business School. There's going to be a presentation ceremony of the giant trophy, which signifies that UGBS are 2024 champions. So let's welcome them with a hearty round of applause as they receive the trophy.
This means a lot. We are super excited. They've really shown professionalism.
Improve the experience and compliance.
Yes, that is correct.
Champions who have held the trophy for more than 365 days.
You said you used to test hypothesis.
T-test.
No, please.
Radio frequency identification.
Yes.
Congratulations, guys. It's not easy. Let a round of applause flow for our 2024 Tertiary Business Science Challenge champions, the University of Ghana Business School.
Ladies and gentlemen, yes, it is here. The finals for the Northern Zone is here, and I want to specially welcome you all. This is the epic final, one among three great institutions from northern part of the country. We have three great institutions, in no particular order. The Tamale Technical University from Tamale in the northern region, the University for Development Studies from Tamale in the northern region, and the Dombo University of Business and Integrated Development Studies from Wa in the Upper West region. Now, all three schools have survived the early rounds. It is now left with who wins the zone. We have a defending zonal champion, we have a zonal runner-up, and one school that is determined to make it to the national competition this year. Ladies and gentlemen, UDS enters this final with an impressive momentum. They are zonal champions, defending zonal champions for that matter. They won last year, and with that experience and momentum, they were able to make it to the national semi-final. With that same momentum, they are bent on retaining the title for this zone. Will they be able to win it? I have no idea. But they have UBATES and TATU to contend with. For the Dombo University of Business and Integrated Development Studies, they were runners-up last year by just a whisker. They nearly won it, but UDS stole it from them. This year, they said they are back for what belongs to them. This promises to be exciting. They also made it to the national semi-final. For that reason, they are no mean pushovers. They have earned the right to be here, and they indeed have a major stake in this contest. Will they be able to win it? That again, I have no idea. They have UDS and TATU to contend with. For the Tamale Technical University, last year wasn't the best of years for them. This year they have shown promise. They have shown that they are capable of rubbing shoulders with the two giants from Tamale and from Wa. They indeed are here to make their mark. They are the gentlemen, the men of Tamale, the pride of Tamale, ladies and gentlemen, the Tamale Technical University, the first technical university in northern part of the country. Ladies and gentlemen, without wasting much time, it is my singular honor to invite the 9 gentlemen who want to make a stake of the claim to be the zonal champion. Who wins the bragging rights? Ladies and gentlemen, please join me to welcome the 9 gentlemen on stage. Gentlemen, you're welcome. Okay, kindly put your microphones on and speak into them. So beginning from UDS, I want to find out from you. So last year, you made it to the national semi-finals. It was a very good run for you. How differently have you prepared for this year's competition?
Before I start, I think you made mention of you just stealing the zonal champions from the kids. I want to make it clear that they didn't steal it. And this year, we want to progress to the final to be the champions, not the zonal champions.
Okay. So how has the preparation been like?
We are doing okay.
You are doing okay. All right. So introduce yourself.
So I am Salif Alasan, a level 300 accounting student.
Abdullah Abdurrashid, a level 300 accounting student.
Yusuf Sukaraj, HRM, final year.
Okay, you're welcome, gentlemen. Best wishes to you, UDS. Now from UBATES, who do we have?
I'm Salih Abdullah, become accountant level 200?
I'm Julius Soyorobekane, banking and finance level 400. I'm Michael Imoro, become accountant level 400.
The name again?
Michael Imoro.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, what should we expect from you from this year?
We actually don't have much to say. We are just hoping for an interesting competition.
Last year you were runners up at the zonal level. UDS tell me they didn't steal it from you. They were destined to win. That is why they won. What do you have to say to that?
We are having today to justify.
Okay. How different has this year's preparation been?
It has been a little bit different. We looked at other strategies we'll be able to go against our opponents.
Okay, you're plotting and twisting. We'll see how that goes. Best wishes to you, SD Dombo. Tamale Technical University. Last year you could not make it to the zonal final. This year you are here. How has the preparation been for this final?
We have gone through a lot of some of the preparation, though we encounter a lot of challenges, but still we are poised to do action on stage here.
What should we expect from you?
Nothing but the best.
Please introduce yourselves.
I'm Dente Ramson, BTech level 300 accounting.
I'm Mohamed Hadi Alasan, BTech apply accounting level 300.
Okay.
I'm Oponko Gabriel, BTech apply accounting level 300.
Okay, you're welcome, gentlemen. I wish you the very best of luck. So, ladies and gentlemen, the schools are seated, they are poised. They are all hoping and wishing for the best. I also wish them the very best of luck because they will need to put on their A game to be able to win this contest. It's going to be a 6-round contest. Round 1 will be on theory, where we test the understanding of basic principles and concepts in business. Round 2 will involve some calculations where they are free to use their calculators. Round 3 is a business case of the day. We are going to present them with a common problem, and they are supposed to work as a team and come up with one solution. The 4th round is a graphic business segment, where we're going to examine them on some stories that appeared in the graphic business newspaper. Round 5, the true or false segment, where I'll read some statement to you. Your duty is to tell me if the statement is true or false. The 6th and final round will be riddles, where I'll give you a set of clues. You have to tell me who or what I am referring to. Now, what you need to know is that for bonus questions, they are open to all 2 schools, assuming the first school gets it wrong. If you are ready for a bonus, you ring a bell. The first school to ring a bell will be required to answer. If they get it correct, they get a bonus marks. If they get it wrong, they suffer a penalty of -1. Please, are we ready?
Yes.
All right. So if you are ready, we go straight into the contest. But of course, my name is Al-Hassan Yusuf Trauli. I'm the moderator for the contest, and you know what I love. I love academic violence like this. This is very poised. They'll be full of violence. It'll be full of some interesting match-ups and contests. We'll see how this one goes. Round 1. Ready? Your bits. Ready? UDS.
Yes, please.
Ready? Tattoo. Okay, so let's do battle. Let's go straight to round 1. Remember that this program is brought to us by Graphic Business in partnership with ICAG. Our sponsors include MTN Ghana, PwC, Gold Ghana, Compu Ghana, Piva Beverages, Glyco Life, as well as GCB Bank. I'm beginning this round from the Tamale Technical University, but this is a common preamble to all 3 schools. Kindly take notes. So here, each of you have the opportunity of answering 6 major questions. A major question get correct will be 3 points. If it's a bonus, 1 point. If you get a bonus wrong, -1. 2 attempts only at a major question unless otherwise indicated. 10 seconds to attempt your major question. If it's a bonus, you have 5 seconds. Common preamble. You have to describe the tax treatment of the following transactions in the context of the Income Tax Act, Act 896. Describe the tax treatment of the following transactions in the context of the Income Tax Act of 2015, Act 896. Tamale Technical University, your transaction, a redundancy payment to an employee. Redundancy payment to an employee. What is the tax treatment? You've been bailed out. Okay, UDS. It is tax exempt. That is correct. That is correct for 1 point. UBIT, your transaction. Payment of income to non-resident employee in Ghana. Payment of income to non-resident employee in Ghana.
So that is 8% final.
I'm not taking that. Your bonus for UDS.
15%.
No, that is not correct. Bonus available. Tattoo.
Double taxation.
No, that is not correct. So it is taxed at a flat rate of 25%. 25%. No personal reliefs are applied. Now yours, UDS. Yours is the payment of 2,500 cedi salary for a casual worker in the month of February 2024. Payment of 2,500 cedi salary for a casual worker in the month of February 2024.
It's a graduated rate.
No, I'm not taking that. Bonus
It's
is
8%.
no, you've exhausted, please. Bonus is available. Yes, statue.
5%.
Yes, 5% withholding tax. That is correct. 5% is correct for Tamale Technical University. Next set of questions, also a common preamble. Please take notes. The EPRG framework, developed by Howard Perimeter, outlines 4 orientations multinational companies may adopt when approaching global marketing and expansion. For each of the following cases, you are to identify which EPRG orientation is being applied. You have 1 attempt only. 1 attempt only. For the case that I'm going to read out to you, determine which element of the EPRG framework we are describing. Okay. So, Tamale Technical University. MedZone, a global pharmaceutical firm, establishes regional hubs in the West, East, and Southern Africa to coordinate strategy within those zones. MedZone, a global pharmaceutical firm, establishes regional hubs in West, East, and Southern Africa to coordinate strategy within those zones. You've been bailed out. Bonus is available. Yes, you bet.
Okay, that is the polycentric orientation.
No, that is not correct.
Sorry, it's regiocentric.
Bonus, you have only 1 attempt, please. Bonus is still available. Do you want to attempt? Okay. So UDS is not attempting. I'm not going to give the answer now. UBIT, your major question. AgroLife Limited from Germany allows its subsidiaries in Kenya and Brazil to develop their own marketing strategies tailored to local climates, agricultural calendars, and consumer behaviors. AgroLife Limited allows its subsidiaries in Kenya and Brazil to develop their own marketing strategies tailored to local climates, agricultural calendars, and consumer behaviors.
That is the ethnocentric orientation.
No, please. You've exhausted your chance. Bonus is available. All right. So I will not give the answer now. Now, UDS. American fast food expands into Africa and Asia, retaining the same menu, portion sizes, prices, and slogans across all markets, assuming its existing success formula will universally apply. American fast foods expands into Africa and Asia, retaining the same menu, portion sizes, pricing, and slogans across all markets, assuming its existing success formula will universally apply.
That's personocentric.
What?
Personocentric.
No, that is not correct.
True.
You have one attempt only. Bonus is available. Yubits.
So we have the geocentric.
No, that is not correct. It is actually ethnocentric. Ethnocentric. Yubits, yours was polycentric. And Tattoo, yours was regiocentric. So you were mixing them up, Yubits. For our next set of questions, I'm going to begin with SD Dombo. Common preamble to the three of you. You are to identify the type of financial swap being used in the following scenario and justify your answer briefly. Identify the type of financial swap that is being used in the following scenario and justify your answer briefly. Yubits. A beverage manufacturer is concerned about the rising cost of sugar. It enters a contract to pay a fixed price for sugar and receive payments tied to the actual market price. A beverage manufacturer is concerned about the rising cost of sugar. It enters a contract to pay a fixed price for sugar and receive payments tied to the actual market price.
That is forward.
No, you have one other chance.
So that is the features.
Unfortunately, that is also not correct. Bonus is available. I'll give the answer now. None of you rang the bell. UDS. A Ghanaian company borrows 5 million euro from a European bank at 3% interest, but earns most of its revenue in Ghana cedi. To manage exchange rate risk, it enters into a swap to exchange euros for cedis and agrees to pay interest in cedis while receiving euros. I take it again. A Ghanaian company borrows 5 million euro from an European bank at 3% interest, but earns most of its revenue in Ghana cedi. To manage exchange rate risk, it enters into a swap to exchange euros for cedis and agrees to pay interest in cedis while receiving euros.
Debt equity swap.
That is not correct. You have one other chance.
Exchange rate swaps.
No, it is not correct. Bonus is available. I'll give the answer now. Tattoo. Your major question, Tamale Technical University. A construction firm borrows 10 million cedi at a floating interest rate. Concerned about rising interest rates, The firm swaps its floating rate payment for fixed rate payment with a financial institution. A construction firm borrows 10 million cedis at a floating interest rate. Concerned about rising interest rates, the firm swaps its floating rate payments for fixed rate payment with a financial institution.
Features.
No, please, that is not correct. You have one other chance.
Forward integration.
It is also not correct. You've exhausted your chances. Bonus is available. Also bailed out. So it is interest rate swap. Yours was interest rate swap. Yours was commodity swap, the sugar scenario. And then for UDS, currency swap. I'm surprised you don't know this. What? No, please. No. All right. Next set of questions. UBIT. Okay, let's do something. Country A has recorded persistent increases in the general price level over several quarters. Its currency has also experienced notable changes in the foreign exchange market during this period. How does inflation impact currency value in this scenario? Explain briefly. Country A has recorded persistent increases in the general price level over several quarters. Its currency has also experienced notable changes in the foreign exchange market during this period. How does inflation impact currency value in this scenario? Explain.
Okay, so persistent increase in prices of goods and services in an economy poses a negative indication into the economy. And with comparing it to exchange rate, this tries to devalue the amount of, let's say, if they are dealing with exports of goods and services. It means that the country is going to import goods from a different currency at a very higher rate, and this in turn will increase more prices of goods and services in the economy. So that's the relation.
That's fine, I'll take that. UDS, country B's price growth rate has declined gradually over the past year. Market observers have also noted shift in exchange rate behavior during this time. How does disinflation impact currency value in this scenario? Country B's price growth rate has declined gradually over the past year. Market observers have also noted shift in exchange rate behavior during this period. How does disinflation impact currency value in this scenario? Explain.
So, inflation in this scenario will, deflation in this scenario will increase the country's currency, leading to an appreciation of the currency, meaning that less money will be paid for goods and services.
That's fine. It will lead to an appreciation in the currency. I'll accept that. But the question was on disinflation, not deflation, but it's almost a similar answer. Tattoo. Country E's public debt levels have risen sharply as a share of GDP. Financial markets begin reacting to the government's fiscal position. How does rising public debt impact currency value in this scenario? Explain. Country E's public debt has risen sharply as a share of GDP. Financial markets begin reacting to the government fiscal position. How does rising public debt impact the currency value in this scenario? Explain your answer. Tatu.
It will depreciate the value of the currency. and there will be economic. It will lead to economic hardship.
That's fine. It will lead to depreciation, which may lead to economic hardship. That's fine. I'll accept that. All right. So let's do this. This time we are beginning from UDS. Common preamble to all three schools. Please take notes. Common preamble. You are to tell me the form of non-verbal communication that is most significant. The key word is most significant in this scenario, and how does it influence the message? Please, did you get the preamble? What form of non-verbal communication is most significant in this scenario, and how does it influence the message? Explain briefly. UDS. During a project update, a team member says everything is under control, but his voice is shaky and his tone is unusually high. What form of nonverbal communication is most significant in this scenario? How does it influence the message? Explain. Shall I give you the scenario again? During a project update, a team member says everything is under control, but his voice is shaky and his tone is unusually high.
As gestures. And that is technical because it's re-emphasized what he's saying. But in this case, he's not sure. So we're just trying to give assurance.
That is not acceptable to me. Bonus is available. Okay, I'll not give the answer now. Your major question, tattoo. A job applicant sits slouched in their chair, avoids leaning forward, and crosses their arms throughout the interview. What form of nonverbal communication is most significant in this scenario? How does it influence the message? Explain. A job applicant sits slouched in their chair, avoids leaning forward, and crosses their arms throughout the interview. Now tell me the nonverbal communication we are talking about here.
Yeah, the type of nonverbal communication indicated is gestures, and it's because of he folded part of his body, which is the arms, which shows that he's not that okay with the results or what is going on.
I'll not accept that. Bonus is available. You bits.
So the nonverbal communication is prosemics. This is because he has taken a particular...
It's what?
Prosemics.
Go ahead with your...
So prosemics, because prosemics depicts the position and distances used in nonverbal communication.
I'll not accept that. I won't accept that. I'll explain. Your opportunity, you bits. A supervisor stands very close to an employee while delivering critical feedback, causing the employee to lean backward uncomfortably. You have to tell me the nonverbal communication that is most significant in this scenario. A supervisor stands very close to an employee while delivering critical feedback, causing the employee to lean backward uncomfortably. What is the nonverbal communication that we are talking about here?
So the nonverbal communication we are talking about here is prosemics, because of the position of the supervisor giving the information.
Yes, that is correct. Prosemics is correct. I believe you now see the difference between this one and the interview question. With the interview question, it was all about body language. Okay? Not necessarily about... We spoke about three things here. The fact that the person slouched in their chair, which may not necessarily be proxemics. The person avoided leaning forward, and the person crossed their arms. I hope you get that. That has nothing to do with proxemics. So that is body language. Yours earlier one was paralanguage. Okay, the high pitch, the shaky voice, it all had to do with the language, not gestures. You mentioned gestures. The voice has nothing to do with gestures. I hope that is clear. So our last set of questions for this round, ladies and gentlemen, also a common preamble. We are doing some business and corporate law. You have to identify, we are beginning with you, UDS. Identify the type of consideration. I believe we know about consideration. Identify the type of consideration that is illustrated in the scenario and explain how it applies with reference to contract law principles. UDS. Kwame helps his neighbor Na fix her leaking roof without being asked. A week later, Na promises to give Kwame 500 cedis for his help. She later refuses. You have to identify the type of consideration in this scenario and explain how it applies. Kwame helps his neighbor Na to fix her leaking roofing without being asked to do that. A week later, Na promises to give Kwame 500 cedis for his help. Na later refuses. You have to identify the type of consideration that we are describing here.
Executed. This is because one party has already performed its obligations.
That is not correct. You have one last chance.
Past consideration. That is because the party has already performed and the promise is yet to be made.
Yes. Tattoo. Akosia transfers ownership of a plot of land to her cousin for 1 Ghana cedi as a symbolic gesture. A formal deed is signed. You have to identify the type of consideration in this scenario. Akosia transfers ownership of a plot of land to her cousin for 1 cedi as a symbolic gesture. A formal deed is signed. You have to identify the type of consideration in this scenario and explain how it applies.
The type of consideration in this scenario is present.
Is what?
Present.
Present.
Yeah. And it's because the obligation, like it's being done and it's being accepted at the same time.
No, that is not correct. UDS.
It's executed because the party has already made an advanced consideration before the act is being performed.
No. Please. Bonus, you have 1 attempt only. All right, so I'll give the answer later. Ubit. A software company promises to pay a bonus to its developers if the product launch achieves 100,000 downloads in the first month. Identify the type of consideration in this scenario and explain how it applies. A software company promises to pay a bonus to its developers if the product launch achieves 100,000 downloads in the first month. Identify the type of consideration and explain how it applies.
So the type of consideration is executory. This is because the consideration is yet to be fulfilled.
That is not correct. You have 1 other chance.
Okay, so we have past. Past is because there's no original consideration.
That is not correct. Bonus is available. UDS.
So executory.
That is not correct. Bonus is available to Tattoo. Okay, so from your answers, it appears to me that you are aware of just 3 types of considerations. All your answers have centered around past, executed, executory. There are other types of consideration, like nominal consideration. In the case of the 1 cedi that was paid, nominal consideration is when you give something so little. The person gave a plot of land and you are giving 1 cedi for that plot of land as your consideration. It is so insignificant as compared to the value of the item that is being exchanged. We call that a nominal consideration. The one I just read is a conditional consideration. Conditional is also a type of consideration. A consideration that is given only if some circumstances come up. So here we're saying that the software companies promises to pay a bonus if they achieve something. And that's a conditional consideration. So on that note, we come to the end of round one. Please show some love. So I think my audience is tense than even the contestants on the stage. Tatu, how was round one? How did it go?
It's fine though, but that is not what we are expecting. We are hoping to do better.
Are we on track?
No.
You bits, are we on track?
We are still waiting.
You are still waiting. Waiting for who? Okay, UDS, how is it going so far?
Not quite well, but we hope we can improve.
You hope you can improve. Certainly everyone will have to improve for us to see how it goes. So ladies and gentlemen, at the end of round one, the scores. But whilst, okay, it's very close as expected. At the end of round one, Tamale Technical University had 4 points. Dombo University of Business and Integrated Development Studies had 6 points. And University for Development Studies had 7 points. Please give it up to them. We are going into round two, calculations. This round, I'm going to begin with you, SD Dombo, because we started the round one with Tatu. So please take notes. Okay. Yubits, a market has the following demand and supply functions. The demand function is 80 minus 2p. Supply function 20 plus 2p. The government imposes a price ceiling of 10 cedis in this market. You are required to calculate the dead weight loss that results from this intervention. A market has the following demand and supply functions. The demand function is 80 minus 2p. Supply function is 20 plus 2p. The government imposes a price ceiling of 10 cedis in this market. You have to calculate the dead weight loss that results from this government intervention. Yubit.
So, okay, okay.
Julius,
so
talk.
We have the death weight lost to be 200.
That is not correct, even bailed out already. Bonus is available. Yes, Tatu.
So the dead weight will be the difference between the initial quantity demanded minus the already quantity demanded. So the initial quantity demanded is 50 minus the after the price was imposed, the new one was also 60. So the difference between the 50 and the 60 is 50. So the difference between the old and the new one will be 10 out of the 10, which is 1.
That is not correct. That is not correct, please. UDS.
The dead weight loss is 10 units because initially the quantity demanded at equilibrium was 50, but after the price ceiling, I think it went to 60.
So are you basing your answer on what they said? Or that's what you also know? That is not correct, please. Yes. The answer is 25. Now your major question, UDS. A market has the following demand and supply functions. The demand function is 100 minus 2p. Supply function is 20 plus 3p. The government imposes a price ceiling of 10 cedis. Calculate the deadweight loss that result from this intervention. Demand function is 100 minus 2p. Supply function is 20 plus 3p. Government imposes a price ceiling of 10 cedis. Calculate the deadweight loss.
So the initial quantity at equilibrium, which is 68, and
I need a final answer, not series of answers. I'll bail you out soon.
The dead weight loss is
Okay.
the dead weight loss is 20.
That is not correct, even bailed out. Bonus is available. You've been bailed out as well. It's 54.54. Now, Tattoo, your major question. A market has the following demand and supply functions. The the demand function is 200 minus 4p. Supply function is 40 plus 2p. The government imposes a price floor of 30 cedis. Calculate the dead weight loss caused by this government intervention. The demand function is 200 minus 4p. Supply function is 40 plus 2p. Government imposes a price floor of 30 cedis. Calculate the dead weight loss caused by this.
So it will be 35.
No, that is not correct. Even bailed out. Bonus is available. $22.19. 22.19. Next set of questions. Still beginning with you bits. A company has a dividend payout ratio of 60% and a return on equity of 15%. The company's growth rate is expected to be 9%. Calculate the sustainable growth rate and determine if the company's dividend payout ratio is sustainable. A company has a dividend payout ratio of 60% and a return on equity of 15%. The company's growth rate is expected to be 9%. Calculate the sustainable growth rate and determine if the company's dividend payout ratio is sustainable.
So that is 0.06. 0.06 or 6%. So it means that comparing it to the dividend payout ratio is sufficient.
2 out of 3. It will be in your own interest to listen to the question well before you begin working. UDS. A company has a dividend payout ratio of 50% and a return on equity of 12%. The company expects a growth rate of 7%. Calculate the sustainable growth rate and determine if the company's dividend payout ratio is sustainable. A company has a dividend payout ratio of 50% and a return on equity of 12%. The company expects a growth rate of 7%. Calculate the sustainable growth rate and determine if the company's dividend payout ratio is sustainable.
So it's 0.24, which is 24%, and it is sustainable because it's more than 7%.
That is not correct, you've been bailed out. Bonuses available. Okay, so it is 6%. The growth rate is higher, so it is not sustainable. Tattoo. A company has a dividend payout ratio of 30% and a return on equity of 20%. The company's growth rate is expected to be 8%. Calculate a sustainable growth rate and determine if the company's dividend payout ratio is sustainable. A company has a dividend payout ratio of 30% and a return on equity of 20%. The company's growth rate is expected to be 8%. Calculate the sustainable growth rate and determine if the company's dividend payout ratio is sustainable. Tamale Technical University.
%.
No, please, you have one other chance.
0.05.
That is also not correct. You've exhausted your chances. Bonus is available. Your bits.
So it is sustainable because the amount is 12%, and it is sustainable because it is greater than the growth rate.
Is that the amount is what?
0.12.
Please start and say what you have to say. Go straight ahead.
So it's 12%, and it is sustainable because the amount there is more than the growth rate.
It is not 12%. It is 14%. Yes, it's sustainable, but because the 12% is not correct, I cannot accept that for a bonus. Next set of questions. This time we are beginning from UDS. For our next set of questions. A retail store offers a 25% discount on a product that is priced at 200 cedis. The customer base consists of two distinct groups. Group A, 60% of all customers. The purchase likelihood with the discount is 12%. Group B, 40% of all customers. Purchase likelihood with discount is 6%. If 500 customers visit the store, calculate the expected total revenue from sales of the discounted products. Let me take it again. A retail store offers a 25% discount on a product that is priced at 200 cedis. The customer base consists of two distinct groups. 60% of all customers, that is group A, their purchase likelihood with a discount is 12%. Then there's group B, which is made up of 40% of all customers, with a purchase likelihood with discount of 6%. If 500 customers visit the store, calculate the expected total revenue from sales at the discounted price.
So, the total revenue will be
Okay.
The total revenue will be 7,290.
Yes. But please. No, we cannot accept this as a strategy on TBSC. If you begin to answer, maximum 5 seconds. If you haven't given an answer, we will declare it as a bonus. I hope we are okay. Tattoo. A store offers a 30% discount on a 100 CD product. Group A, 70% of 600 customers. The likelihood of purchase is 20%. Group B, 30% of the customers, that is the 600 customers, 10% likelihood of purchase. Calculate the expected total revenue. I take it again. A store offers a 30% discount on a 100 CD product. Group A, 70% of 600 customers, 20% likelihood of purchase. Group B, 30% of customers, 10% likelihood of purchase. Calculate the expected total revenue.
$612,000.
No, please, you have one other chance. You've been bailed out. Bonus is available.
The answer is 26,400.
No, that is also not correct. Okay, did you ring or is okay? We can go. It is 7,140 actually. SD Dombo, your major question. A retailer offers a 300 CD product with 2 discounts. Group A, 65% of 500 customers, and it is 25% discount, and the purchase probability is 10%. Group B, 35% of 500, 10% discount, 5% purchase probability. Calculate the expected total revenue. I take it again. A retailer offers a 300 CD product with 2 discounts. Group A, 65% of 500, and it's 25% discount, 10% purchase probability. Group B, 35% of 500, 10% discount, 5% purchase probability. Calculate the expected total revenue.
So we have 3,100.
No, you have one other chance.
Okay, so we have 7,800.
That is also not correct. Bonus is available. UDS.
6,375.
No. Tatu, do you want to take up the bonus? 9,675. 9,675. All right. So next set of questions, still beginning with you, UDS. Common preamble, please take notes. Common preamble to all three schools. From the data that I'm going to give to you, calculate three things. We have 1, the budget warrant out 10 in cedis. Budget warrant out 10 in percentage. And then the warrant burnout rate in percentage. Please, did you get a preamble? From the information I'm going to give to you, calculate three things. 1, the budget warrant out 10 in cedis, budget warrant out 10 in percentage, and the warrant burnout rate in percentage. Beginning with you, UDS. Annual appropriation 30,000. Year to date warrant 22,500. Year to date payment 21,700. Annual appropriation 30,000. Year to date warrant 22,500. Year to date payments 21,700. Even bailed out, bonus is available. Tamale Technical University.
We have the budget warrant out 10 to be 7,500, and its percentage is 25%. And then the warrant burnout rate is 103.68%.
For a bonus, I'm not going to accept that. You got some of the figures correct. Maybe I should just mention, yes, 7,500 is correct, 25% is correct, the burnout rate is 96.44%. That is the only one you got wrong. For a bonus, I'm not going to accept. For yours, Tattoo, the annual appropriation is 7,000. Year-to-date warrant, 5,250. Year-to-date payment, 5,100. Annual appropriation, 7,000. Year-to-date warrant, 5,250. And year-to-date payment, 5,100.
So we have the budget warrant turn out to be 1,750, and then the percentage is 25%.
Okay, you've been bailed out. So 2 out of 3. All right, UBIT, your annual appropriation is 10,000. Year-to-date warrant is 3,000, and year-to-date payment is 1,800. Annual appropriation is 10,000. Year-to-date warrant 3,000. Year-to-date payment 1,800.
So the amount is 2,500. The percentage is 25%, and the last one is 18%.
That is not correct. You have one other chance.
Okay. So we have 2,500 for the budget warrant in cedis. Then we have 25%, and we have 82% for the warrant burnout rate.
No, I'm not taking that. Bonus is available. Tattoo.
So we have the budget warrant to be 7,000, and the percentage is 70%. And then the warrant burnout rate is 60%.
Yes, that is correct. For the next set of questions, we are beginning with you, Tatu. You better stop arguing and listen. Tatu. Next set of questions. All right. So, we are beginning with you, Tatu. A retailer records the number of items sold per week over 5 weeks. 45, 50, 55, 60, 65. You have to calculate the range, variance, and standard deviation. I take it again. A retailer records the following number of items sold per week over 5 weeks: 45, 50, 55, 60, and 65. Calculate the range, variance, and standard deviation.
The variance is 50. The standard deviation is 7.07, and the range is 20.
Yes, that is correct. Ubits. A company's daily website visits over 5 days recorded as follows: 180, 160, 200, 190, 170. Calculate the range, variance, and standard deviation. A company's daily website visit over 5 days: 180, 160, 200, 190, 170. Calculate the range, variance, and standard deviation.
So the standard deviation is 14.14, the variance is 200, and the range is 40.
Yes, that is correct. UDS. Energy consumption in kilowatt for 5 departments as follows: 20, 22, 19, 24, and 25. Calculate the range, variance, and standard deviation. Energy consumption in kilowatt for 5 departments: 20, 22, 19, 24, and 25. Calculate the range, variance, and standard deviation.
So the variance is 2.28. The standard deviation is 5.2. The range is 5.
Range 5, standard deviation 2.55, variance 5.28.
I'm not taking that. Bonus is available.
So
Ubits.
The standard deviation is 2.2, the variance is 5.2, and the range is 6.
Yes. I hope you've seen your mistake. So he started and even mixed them up. He gave the answer for standard deviation as variance, and so you mixed them up. But in the end, so last set of questions for this round. Last set of questions, beginning with Tatu. Let's do some taxation to wrap things up. Please. APK Manufacturing Company Limited rented, I'm with you, Tatu, rented 2 office idle buildings to 2 resident persons. The first building was leased for an amount of 1,000 cedis per month for 2 years to GDB Bank. The bank accommodated Mr. Kwe, a staff in that house. The second building was rented for an amount of 1,500 cedis per month for 5 years to PCD Limited for its business activities. Compute how much rental tax APK will pay to the GRA for the first year? I take it again. APK Manufacturing Limited rented 2 of its idle buildings to 2 resident persons. The first building was leased for an amount of 1,000 cedis per month for 2 years to GBD Bank. The bank accommodated Mr. Kwe, a staff, in that house. The second building was rented out for an amount of 1,500 cedis per month for 5 years to PGD Limited for its business activities. Compute how much rental tax APK will pay to the GRA for the first year. Tatu.
So the rental tax, the total will be 3,660.
Yes, that is correct. Ubits. ZNT Engineering Limited, a manufacturing company, rent out 2 unused buildings. One is leased to ABY Microfinance Limited for 800 cedis per month for 3 years. The building is used to house staff. The other is rented to J&A Trading Company for 2,000 cedis per month for 2 years for office operations. Calculate the total rental income tax payable by ZNT Limited for the first year. I take it again. ZNT Engineering Limited, a manufacturing company, rent out 2 unused buildings. One is leased to ABY Microfinance Limited for 800 cedis per month for 2 years or for 3 years. The building is used to house staff. The other is rented to J&A Trading Company for 2,000 cedis for 2 years, that is per month, for office operations. Calculate the total rental income tax payable by ZNT for the first year.
$33,600.
Come again.
33,600.
No, that is not correct. You have one other chance.
Okay, 3,888.
That is also not correct. Bonus is available. Yes, Tatu.
1,128.
No, unfortunately, that is not correct. Bonus is still available to you, UDS. Do you want to take it up? Okay. 4,368. 4,368. Now for you, UDS, your major question. Brahma Limited rented out 2 buildings as follows. One to FNB Bank for 1,200 cedis per month to house a regional manager. Another to Kofi Mensa Limited, a food reseller or wholesaler, for 1,800 cedis per month to run its warehouse. Compute Brahma Limited's rental tax liability for the first year. Brahma Limited rented out 2 buildings as follows. One to FNB Bank Limited for 1,200 cedis per month to house a regional manager. Another to Kofi Mensa Limited, a food wholesaler, for 1,800 cedis per month to run its warehouse. Compute Brahma Limited's rental tax liability for the first year.
So the total tax payable will be 435.
No, it is not 435. You have one other chance.
3,024.
That is also not correct. Bonus is available. Tamale Technical University.
5,400.
No. 4,392. 4,392 is what I was expecting. On that note, we come to the end of round 2. It's not easy. Not at all. You bet. How is it going? Especially the round 2. How do you see it?
So the round 2 weren't able to get most of the things. We are hoping that the next one will always be better.
UDS, how did you see the round 2?
Things didn't go as planned, but we are hoping to get better.
Okay, Tattoo, how was the round 2?
We'll do better.
Certainly you have to do better because we are entering into round 3 soon once we declare the results. But before then, we'll go for a very quick commercial break. We'll be right back to declare the result for round 2.
Life is a celebration of moments. Big and small.
The sun is scorching, I'm feeling the heat.
With Piva Drink, every moment becomes a refreshing celebration. From the beach to your home, in every corner of your world, Piva Drink adds a burst of refreshment.
And orange, give me Piva cocktail and tangerine.
My name is Al Hassan Yusuf Traore, and I love academic violence.
This means a lot. We are super excited. They've really shown professionalism.
Improve the experience and compliance.
Yes, that is correct.
Champions who have held the trophy for more than 365 days.
You said you used to test hypothesis.
T-test.
No, please.
Radio frequency identification.
Yes. Audience is ready. Studio audience, I must say, are gingered up. Last quarterfinal contest for day 1 is upon us. To Mudaraba and Musharaka in Islamic finance. I asked you to state and explain. You haven't explained. I want you to explain the point that you have mentioned today. Join me as we want to experience some academic violence this afternoon. Team Gamma, 8 members with individual coding speed of 11 tags per day, operate at 80% efficiency. Determine how many days each team will take to complete the project. Back if you should lose this one. A place at the semi-final is what is at stake. You are tempted to score. Bonus for Central University. On that note, we come to the end of round 4A, ladies and gentlemen. Next set of questions, University of Education, Winneba. The 2024 edition of the Tertiary Business Science Challenge has finally come to an end. How do you assess your own performance? My name is Al Hassan Yusuf Traore, and I welcome you all to join in this violence.
There's going to be a presentation ceremony of the giant trophy, which signifies that UGBS are our 2024 champions. So let's welcome them with a hearty round of applause as they receive the trophy.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome back from the commercial break. This is still the zonal final, Northern Zone, Tertiary Business Science Challenge 2025, version 7.0. We just did the second round. We are waiting for the scores. And right after that, we go into round 3. So if our scores are ready, let's see how our schools performed at the end of round 2. So ladies and gentlemen, at the end of round 2, University for Development Studies had 3 points. SD Dombo University of Business and Integrated Development Studies had 6 points. And the Tamale Technical University had 9 points. Okay, so we are going into round 3. Round 3 is the business case of the day. In this round, we are giving all 3 schools a common problem, and they are supposed to work as a team and come up with one solution, which will be compared with what we have. Now, because it's a zonal final, the business case will be for 7 minutes, because it is something that we believe you can do within that time. Please take out your business case. Let us read together. Okay, so it's something on procurement. Let's read it together. Under the Public Procurement Act of 2003, Act 663, as amended by Act 914, procurement entities in Ghana are required to adopt specific procurement methods based on the estimated value and nature of the contract. These methods are aimed at ensuring transparency, value for money, and competitiveness in public procurement processes. The applicable contract value thresholds determine whether an entity should use international competitive tendering, national competitive tendering, or request for quotations for procuring goods, works, technical services, or consultancy services. Now your question is, what are the thresholds for the various competitive procurement methods for goods, works, and services? So we have international competitive tender for goods, works, and services, national competitive tender for goods, works, and services, price quotation for goods, works, and services, as well as consultancy services. So it's very simple. If you know what you have to do, even within 2 minutes, you should be able to do this. So ladies and gentlemen, this is our business case of the day. You may begin your work now. You have 7 minutes.
What am I writing?
chemical we use two source. Two source. Yeah, the technical two source international. What is technical? What is it? There are two sources on there. Now let's reconstruct that. Technical, I'm not using anything. It's under competitive method. The two source. The first source you ask for your let's use the request for quotation. This one. Request for quotation. Give again. Change this one to request for quotation. It's there. This is ready to stop. The education use international
All right. So this was very fast. It was quite straightforward. If you're okay, so let's look at what we were expecting from them. Now, per the PPA Act, the Public Procurement Act, Act 663, as amended in 2016, there are some thresholds that exist or that are provided in the law, beyond which you may need to use a method or the other. Okay, so for price quotation, there's a range within which you can use price quotation. There's a range for national competitive tendering and a range for international competitive tendering. So for price quotation for goods, we use price quotation if it is between 0 and 100,000 cedis. If for goods, for national competitive tendering, goods is between 100,000 and 10 million cedis. And international competitive tendering for goods is above 10 million. For services or for works, price quotation is up to 200,000. National competitive tendering is 200,000 and 15 million. Above 15 million is international competitive tendering. And then for technical services, up to 50,000 cedis is for price quotation. Between 50,000 cedis and 5 million cedis is national competitive tendering, and above 5 million cedis is international competitive tendering. So if you're able to state each of these, 1 mark each. For the last one, the consultancy service, there's no threshold indicated in the act. So that should give you 10 points. Now let's look at what you did. So it's very simple. That's why we gave you 7 minutes, because if you know, you know. If you don't know, we can even give you 30 minutes and you know what. Beginning from your bits. So they presented 2 sheets. That's why I'm starting with them. International competitive tendering, they wrote goods 500 million to 100 million. I don't know what that means. Works 250 million to 500 million. Technical service above 1 billion. No, that is not correct. National competitive tendering also, they wrote 500,000 to 100,000 or even 1 million. 250,000 to 300,000 above 1 million. That's also not acceptable. Price quotation too, they didn't write anything of note. Consultancy service, they said up to 200,000. That is also not correct. But for their efforts, I'm very generous. I'll give them 1 out of 10. UDS didn't do anything better than what UBITS did. They also wrote international competitive tendering for goods. They wrote 10 million, works 20 million, technical services 500,000. National competitive tendering, they wrote 200,000 to 10 million for goods, 200,000 to 20 million for works, 15,000 to 50,000 for services. Not acceptable. Price quotation goods 100,000 to 1 million. 250,000 to 20 million, 150,000 to 500,000, and consultancy services 350. They also did not get any of them, but for their effort, I give them 1 out of 10. Tattoo also did the same thing. They didn't even have any figures on the sheets. They were listing methods for me. For goods, they wrote competitive tendering, works, competitive, technical, request for quotation, etc. I'm not accepting any of those, but for their effort, I give them 1 out of 10. So, ladies and gentlemen, at the end of round 3, Tattoo had 1 point, UBITS 1 point, UDS 1 point. Please show some love. We are going into round 4, but the schools want to effect some substitutions. Please, you may do so now in the next 30 seconds. Yeah, welcome, gentlemen. Surprising to say there's no lady on stage. What happened? Why is she looking away? In future, we may make it compulsory that teams should include at least a female in their team. All right, gentlemen, you're welcome. The stage is too dry with all men. Anyway, please introduce yourselves, beginning from Tatu.
My name is Al-Hassan Ahmed, BTech Logistics and Procurement Management, level 300.
You're welcome, Al-Hassan.
Thank you.
Who do we have from UBIT?
Okay, I'm also in the person of Pen Wilfred, become banking and finance level 200.
And who do we have from UDS?
My name is Michael Eji, banking and finance level 300.
You're welcome, Michael. So I believe you know the rules already. Each of you have the opportunity of answering 6 major questions. A major question will have 10 seconds within which to give an answer. If you get it correct, you have 3 points. If you get it wrong, we can pass it on as a bonus. For a bonus, please, if you get a bonus wrong, you suffer a penalty of -1. Bonuses are open to the remaining schools. You press first, you answer. If you get it wrong, -1. You have 10 seconds to give an answer. If it's a major question, bonus, you have 5 seconds. 2 attempts only at a major question, 1 attempt, unless otherwise indicated. Please, are we ready? So we are beginning round 4 with University for Development Studies from Tamale in the northern region. UDS, are you ready? But this is a common preamble to all 3 schools. Please take notes. Common preamble to all of us. Okay. Please listen carefully. All right. So, for the purpose of the zonal competition, we are asking you questions on stories that appeared in the 8th, 15th, and 22nd April editions of the newspaper. So let's begin with this common preamble. The government of Ghana has reinforced its commitment to transforming agriculture through private sector partnerships with a sharp focus on large-scale commercial farming, mechanization, and value addition. This was disclosed by the Chief Commercial Manager at the Ministry of Trade, Agribusiness and Industry during the UK-Ghana Chamber of Commerce Grand Challenge Workshop in Accra. A panel of seasoned industry leaders and innovation specialists assessed the solutions presented, providing key insight on scalability, investment readiness, and market entry strategies. Now your question is simple. Identify any 3 of the panelists each. Identify any 3 of the panelists each that were at the UK-Ghana Chamber of Commerce Grand Challenge Workshop.
Number 1 is Roland Asari, Marcus Peckman, and Sakila Nazer.
Yes, that is correct. Okay, so for the purpose of emphasis, please give me your names again so that... Come again.
The names?
Yes, the names again.
Roland Asari.
Okay.
Marcus Peckman.
Okay.
Sakila Nazer. Sadiq Nazer. Sadiq Nazer.
That's fine. Sakib Nazer is fine. Tatu.
Maule Okulu.
Okay.
Julian Evelyn.
Speak into the microphone. Go ahead.
Maule Okulu, Julian Evelyn, and
bring the microphone down a bit and speak into it.
Julian Evelyn Mauli Okulu and
I'll give you 2 out of 3. So yes, Julian Mauli Okulu is fine. It's Julian Owusu, but I'll accept that. Now UBIT.
Okay, so we have Alhassan Baba Muniru, that's the co-founder of Rock. Then we also have Franklin Eshon, and we also have Divine Elikane Aka.
Yes. That is correct. Next set of questions, beginning with you, UDS, once again. Ghanaian football fans are beginning to dream again. After a string of emphatic victories, the Black Stars are back on course to qualify for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. UDS, I hope that the preamble is clear. UDS, mention any 3 years in which Ghana qualified for the FIFA World Cup. Mention any 3 years in which Ghana qualified for the FIFA World Cup.
We have 2010, 2014, and 2008. 2006.
That is correct. Tattoo. In which 3 countries will the 2026 FIFA World Cup be held? In which 3 countries will the 2026 FIFA World Cup be held?
The US, and we have Miami and Mexico.
2 out of 3. I'll tell you why soon. Ubits, mention 3 cities in the US that will have stadiums to host the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Mention 3 cities in the US that will have stadiums to host the 2026 FIFA World Cup.
So we have Miami, we have New York City, we also have Mexico.
Okay.
We also have Washington, D.C.
No, 2 out of 3. So 3 countries, and you mentioned Miami. I believe you are looking out for Canada. And the next one is Los Angeles. Okay, Ellie. All right. Next set of questions. This time we are beginning with Tamale Technical University. Tamale Technical University. Common preamble to all of you. Common preamble, but beginning with Tamale Technical University. The President of the United States of America, Donald Trump, on April 2, 2025, announced a unilateral 10% tariff effective April 5, 2025, covering imports from all countries, including Ghana, into the United States. The U.S. market provides a ready-made complementary market destination for several important priority export products from Ghana. Your question is to identify any 3 of these export products as stated in the article in the newspaper. So mention any 3 export products from Ghana that goes to the US as indicated in the article. Tattoo.
We have cocoa, we have gold and Texas.
Come again.
Cocoa, gold, and Texas.
And what?
Texas.
Okay, that's fine. Apparel, textiles, I'll accept that. It's fine. You bid.
We have shea butter, we have vegetables, and we also have fruits.
That is correct. Yes, EDS.
We have copper, semiconductor, and lumber article.
No, I'm not taking that.
Fruit and vegetables.
So fruit has been mentioned, vegetables have been mentioned. So I'll give you another opportunity to come again.
Horticulture products. Say horticulture products.
Pharmaceutical product.
2 out of 3. So the 2 are in respect of the yam and the horticulture products. The others that you haven't mentioned include, I think they were just 9. the apparel, shea butter, fruit, cocoa derivatives, horticulture, vegetables, gold, root crop, that is yam, and then cashew. Next set of questions, common preamble. Common preamble to the three of you, still beginning with Tatu. In a shift that signifies the government's cautious approach to borrowing, a significant portion of bids was rejected out of the bids tendered for the 91-day, 182-day, and 364-day bills auctioned on April 4, 2025. Please, you get a preamble. Now, Tatu, how much was recorded for 91-day treasury bills or 91-day bills? How much was accepted by government, and what percentage of the bids were rejected? How much was recorded for 91-day bills? How much was accepted by government, and what percentage of the bids were rejected?
So the 91-day treasury bill is 3.38 billion Ghana cedis, and 1.44 billion Ghana cedis was accepted. The percentage is 58.27%.
Two out of three. Ubits. How much was recorded for 364-day bills? How much was accepted by government, and what percentage of the bids were rejected? How much was recorded for 364-day bills? How much was accepted by government, and what percentage of the bids were rejected?
Okay, so with the 364-day bills, the amount that was accepted was 176 billion Ghana cedis, and the amount of bids that was also rejected was 161 billion Ghana cedis. And the percentage change is
okay, so the percentage change.
Okay, so you know what we do? I'm giving you one chance. Come straight with your answer. I need definite answers. 1, 2.
Okay, so the bids is 176 billion Ghana cedis, and the amount that was accepted was 161 billion Ghana cedis, and the percentage change in the bids is 8.52%.
I'll give you 1 out of 3. I'll explain why. UDS. How much was recorded for 182-day bills? How much was accepted by government? And what percentage of the bids were rejected?
Okay, so 501 million was recorded, and 81 million was accepted, whereas the percentage of the rejection is 83.83%.
Yes. For Tatu, your percentage was wrong. It was 57.4. Now for Ubits, it is 176 million, 161 million, not billion. That is a significant difference, and that is why I did not accept your answer. Okay, so for our next set of questions, this time we are beginning with Ubits, common preamble. Common preamble. One of the most challenging things for leaders when they assume new leadership roles is how to address their first town hall meeting. Robert Benin outlines a preparation guide that CEOs can adopt to ace their first town hall meeting. You have to identify any 3 of the guides each. Identify any 3 of the guides that CEOs can use to ace their first town hall meeting. Beginning with you, Ubits.
So the first one is determine what story you want your team to walk away with and keep it at the center of your conversation. And the second is celebrate your team's proud the team's proud progress and history, then set your red lines in line with the values of the company.
Okay, that's fine. UDS.
We have pause and invite for questions. Send them away with your best wishes.
And encourage the team that all of them can be involved.
That is correct. Tamale Technical University.
Invite and allow for questions. 2. Show them how those who accept the invitation to join the change will be treated, and also those that do not accept. And also recount on your action in joining, and also why.
Okay, I'll accept that. I'll accept that. So our last set of questions for this round, beginning with you, Bit. Common preamble. The heavy reliance of Ghana's health sector on donor funds, particularly from US aid, poses a significant risk to the sustainability of healthcare programs in the country. With the suspension of US aid support, Ghana faces a pressing need to explore long-term solutions to ensure uninterrupted healthcare service delivery. Ghana can learn lessons from 3 African countries that have demonstrated that self-sufficiency in healthcare is achievable. Please, did you get a preamble? Okay, now, Yubit, which are these 3 countries mentioned in the article? Which are these 3 countries mentioned in the article?
Okay, so we have South Africa, we have Mauritius, and Algeria.
Yes, that is correct. UDS, one of the ways of building a sustainable health sector in Ghana is by reducing dependency on donor aid. The article by Prince Nyamiche mentions diversification of development partners as one of the key points to reduce this dependency. Mention any 3 multilateral organizations that Ghana can engage as mentioned in the article. Mention any 3 multilateral organizations that Ghana can engage as mentioned in the article.
Have the EU, the US, and the
I'm not accepting that bonus is available. Tamale Technical University.
We have the World Bank, African Development Bank, and the United Nations.
Yes, that is correct. Now your major question, Tamale Technical University. Mention any 3 countries that Ghana can engage under the South-South Cooperation for Technical and Financial Assistance in Healthcare Development, which will further enhance sustainability and resilience. Mention any 3 countries that Ghana can engage under the South-South Cooperation for Technical and Financial Assistance in Healthcare Development.
We have China, India, and Indonesia.
Two out of 3. China, India, and Brazil. Brazil. On that note, we come to the end of round 4. Please give it up to them. It is getting interesting. It is getting keener. We have 2 more rounds to go. The riddles as well as the true or false segment. If you have anything to do, you better do it now, gentlemen. Our scores for round 4 will come soon, but we are reminded that the program is brought to us by Graphic Business in partnership with the Institute of Chartered Accountants Ghana. Our sponsors include GCB Bank, Compu Ghana, Glyco Life, Piva Beverages, Gold Ghana, PwC, MTN Ghana, as well as ICG. The program is streaming live on Facebook, Daily Graphic Ghana, as well as on YouTube. Our media partners are Daily Graphic, Graphic Online, and TV3. So whilst we wait for the result, those who came in, Alhassan, how did the round 4 go for you? You came in purposely for the. How did it go for you?
Though I'm alright. There is a saying that goes that a setback is a setup for a comeback, so we mean something.
Okay, you bet. How did the round 4 go for you?
Okay, initially I was a bit nervous, but I think able to adapt to this environment, and going forward we'll make new changes.
Okay, and then for UDS?
I think it was quite okay for me.
Okay, all right, that's fine. So our results for round 4 are ready, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see how they performed. At the end of round 4, University for Development Studies had 14 points, Tamale Technical University had 15 points, and the SD Dombo University had 15 points. We are going into round 5, the true or false segment. Now in this round, I'm going to read out some statements to you. Your duty is to tell me if the statement is true or false. You have 10 seconds within which you have to do that. If you get it correct, you have 2 points. If you get it wrong, you suffer a penalty of -1. You can decide not to answer the question, in which case the remaining 2 schools can ring so that the first school will have the opportunity of answering under the same conditions. Please, are we okay? There are no bonus questions here unless the school didn't attempt. UDS, are you okay? UBITS, are you okay? Tatu, are you fine? We begin this round from the Tamale Technical University. Tatu. All right. 1. The postal rule does not apply to counter offers, rejections, or revocations. The postal rule does not apply to counter offer, rejection, or revocation.
It's a false statement.
No. No. It's a true statement, so you got it wrong. Ubits, please speak into the microphone. Ubits, the postal rule applies even if the use of the post was not authorized or contemplated by the offeror. The postal rule applies even if the use of the post was not authorized or contemplated by the offeror.
That is a true statement.
That is not a true statement. UDS. If the offeror dies after the acceptance is posted, but before it is received, no contract is formed. If the offeror dies after the acceptance is posted, but before it is received, no contract is formed.
True.
No, it is not true. Please relax. Tatu, we are back to you. Type B personalities or individuals are incapable of achieving high performance in competitive environments. Type B personalities are incapable of achieving high performance in competitive environments.
False.
Yes, that is correct. Ubit, type D, D for dog, type D personalities are generally more effective in leadership roles due to their emotional resilience. Type D personalities are generally more effective in leadership roles due to their emotional resilience.
It's a false statement.
Yes, it's a false statement. UDS, Type A personalities are characterized by a competitive nature, a sense of urgency, and a high level of ambition. Type A personalities are characterized by a competitive nature, a sense of urgency, and a high level of ambition.
True.
Yes, true. Next set of questions, we are beginning with Ubit. Ubit, abnormal losses in process costing are excluded from the cost per unit and charged to the profit and loss account. Abnormal losses in process costing are excluded from the cost per unit and charged to the profit and loss account.
It's a true statement.
Yes, that is correct. UDS, in batch costing, the cost per unit decreases as the number of units in a batch increases due to spreading fixed setup cost over more units. In batch costing, the cost per unit decreases as the number of units in a batch increases due to spreading fixed setup cost over more units.
False.
No. Tattoo. In process costing, each process is treated as a cost center and a separate ledger account is maintained for it. In process costing, each process is treated as a cost center and a separate ledger account is maintained for it.
It's true.
Yes, it's true. Yobit, we are coming back to you. Cross-hedging involves hedging the exposure of one asset using a derivative based on a different but correlated asset. Cross-hedging involves hedging the exposure of one asset using a derivative based on a different but correlated asset.
That is a true statement.
Yes, that is correct. UDS, in delta hedging, the closer an option is to expiry, the more frequently the hedge must be adjusted. In delta hedging, the closer an option is to its expiration, the more frequently the hedge must be adjusted. You've been bailed out. It is available to the two schools. Tamale Technical University.
It's true.
Yes, it's true. So they get 2 points. 2. Now your major question, Tamale Technical University. For true or false under the same conditions. Yes. Tamale Technical University. Dynamic hedging requires fewer transactions than static hedging and is generally less costly to maintain. Dynamic hedging requires fewer transactions than static hedging and is generally less costly to maintain.
True.
No. Next set of questions. This time we are beginning with UDS. UDS. The agile development methodology, that is software development, agile development methodologies, they prioritize comprehensive documentation over working software. Agile development methodologies prioritize comprehensive documentation over working software.
False.
Yes, false. Tamale Technical University. The spiral model is most suitable for small, short-term projects with minimal risk. The spiral model is most suitable for small, short-term projects with minimal risk.
It's false.
Yes, it's false. Ubits, the waterfall model allows for revisiting earlier phases once a stage has been completed. The waterfall model allows for revisiting earlier phases once a stage has been completed.
That is a false statement.
Yes, it's a false statement. And now to our last set of statements for this round, ladies and gentlemen, beginning with University for Development Studies. The derivative of a function at a point gives the area under the curve of the function. The derivative of a function at a point gives the area under the curve of the function. Do you want to answer? All right, bonus is available. Tamale Technical University.
It's true.
No, it's not true. So -1. Now your major question, Tamale Technical University. The derivative of a function represents the rate of change of the function with respect to the x-axis. The derivative of a function represents the rate of change of the function with respect to the x-axis.
True.
Yes. Ubits, please complete this round for us. The derivative of a function represents the tangent line to the curve of the function. The derivative of a function represents the tangent line to the curve of the function.
It's a true statement.
You said it's a true statement. Yes, it's a true statement. On that note, we come to the end of round 5. We have one more round to go. The riddle segment. We have one more round to go. Ladies and gentlemen, the contest is very interesting. It is cagey. It will go down to the final round. Only one will win, but 2 will qualify to represent the zone. Which of these 3 schools will qualify to represent the Northern Zone at the National Championship? So we wait for the final scores for round 5. Let's go to the scores for round 5. Okay, so at the end of round 5, University for Development Studies had 2 points, Tamale Technical University had 7 points, and the University of Business and Integrated Development Studies had 9 points. We are going into the final round. Riddles. UDS, are you ready? Ubits, are you ready? Tattoo, are you ready? Riddles. So there will be 4 riddles in all. The riddles are open to all 3 schools. If you are ready, no, there will be 5 riddles actually. So it can be won or lost in this round. It means we have 25 points at stake in this round. Nobody has won, nobody has lost yet. 25 points at stake, 5 riddles. If you ring a bell, you have 10 seconds maximum within which to give an answer. The riddles are open to all 3 of you. If you are ready, you ring your bell. Let me hear the bell from UDS. The bell from UBIT. And that of Tattoo. All right. Yes, but once someone presses the bell, the other one will not come. Like I said, when you ring your bell, you have 10 seconds to give an answer. If you get it correct on the first clue, it is 5 points. Correct on the second clue is 4 points. Answering correctly on any other clue thereafter is 3 points. Please, are we okay? Riddle number 1. Okay, let's do some marketing. Are you ready? Do you have any marketing students here? All right. I am a recent phenomenon in marketing communication and public relations. I am known as a positive spokesperson, an opinion leader, or a community influencer, appointed as an internal or external agent to boost product or service sales and create brand awareness. My key element is my ability to use promotional strategies that will strengthen the customer product service relationship, influence a large audience to buy and consume more. I am meant to embody the corporate identity in appearance, demeanor, values, and ethics. I help increase brand awareness, drive sales. Okay, go ahead.
Advertise.
That is not correct. You can no longer partake in this riddle. So I help increase brand awareness, drive sales, and build a stronger brand identity. 5, I'm a person paid by an organization or company to represent its brand in a positive light, helping to increase brand awareness and sales. Who am I? UBIT.
Brand ambassador.
Yes, that is correct. Riddle number 2. Yes, they answered on the last clue. That is 3 points. Riddle number 2. I am a motivational model and management tool proposed by a psychologist. I was developed in the 1960s, 2 decades after Maslow's hierarchy of needs was first proposed in the early 1940s. Tamale Technical University.
The Adolphus E. origin theory.
No. You can no longer partake in this riddle. So the 2 schools, this is for you. 3, I suggest that individuals are primarily motivated by either achievement, UBIT.
McClelland's theory of motivation. McClelland's.
Go ahead.
That is the McClelland theory of motivation, or the McClelland achievement theory.
It's fine. McClelland's theory. They answered on the 3rd clue. That is 3 points. Riddle number 3. Riddle number 3. I am a common practice in accounting. I may be legitimate or illegitimate depending on how I am perceived. While I am a common practice, I can also raise ethical concerns, particularly if I am done to mislead investors or manipulate financial performance. Over-reliance on me may mask underlying issues in the company's business model or operations. My primary goal is to present a more stable and predictable financial picture, even when the actual earnings fluctuate. Tamale Technical University.
Throughput accounting.
No, please. I can be achieved by strategically recognizing revenues or expenses differently across periods to reduce volatility. 5, I am a financial practice where businesses adjust their reported income to make it appear more consistent across different periods rather than fluctuating significantly year to year. Who am I? You bet.
That is the consistency principle.
No, that is not correct. UDS. UDS, you have an answer? Okay, so I said time should be up by now. Anybody in the audience? It is known as income smoothing. Income smoothing or smoothing. Radio number 4. Radio number 4. I am a phenomenon common in the field of psychology. I was proposed by Leon Festinger, an American social psychologist. I am also relevant in consumer behavior in marketing. I help to understand buyer behavior. I also affect customer satisfaction and brand loyalty. In marketing, I am applicable when after a customer buys a product, they might feel doubt or regret. Did I make the right choice? Or more generally, an individual who is a vegetarian but occasionally eats meat. Tamale Technical University.
The IDA model.
No, that is not correct. I am the mental conflict that arises when a person's actions, beliefs, or attitudes are contradictory. I can lead to various effects, including stress, anxiety, guilt, and even changes in behavior. Who am I? You Bates.
We have the information dissonance.
You have what?
We have information dissonance.
I'm not sure I want to accept that.
Dissonance.
Bonus is still available. Okay, UDS.
The peso model.
Oh no. It's actually, have you all exhausted? Okay. It's cognitive dissonance. Cognitive. Last riddle and the last question for this round, for this contest, and for the Northern Zone. Taxation. I'm a requirement of the VAT Act associated with making taxable supply of goods or services. According to Section 1 of the VAT Act, I'm required to be issued to the recipient in the form and with the details that are prescribed by the Commissioner General. I contain information such as the name, address, and tax identification number of that taxable person, the date and time of supply, a description sufficient to identify the goods or services supplied, including the quantity of the goods or the extent of the services supplied, etc. A taxable person on issuing me is required to retain a copy of me in a sequential identifying number order. 5. The Commissioner General may authorize a taxable person who makes a taxable person to issue a... Yubits.
We have the VAT charter.
VAT charter. No, I'm not accepting that. So I'll continue for the benefit of the two remaining schools. The Commissioner General may authorize a taxable person who makes a taxable supply to issue a sales receipt instead of me in accordance with the conditions and procedures provided in the regulations. Who am I? Yes, statue.
Practice note.
No, that is certainly not correct. Ubits. Hey, UDS, sorry.
Letter of engagement.
No. It's a VAT invoice. VAT invoice. I thought this was so easy to guess. VAT invoice. On that note, we come to the end of the contest, ladies and gentlemen. So we wait for the final results to see how the round went and who will represent the zone at the national level. The contest has been among three great institutions: University for Development Studies in Tamale, SD Dombo University of Business and Integrated Development Studies in Wa, and the Tamale Technical University also in Tamale. The winner of this contest will earn the bragging right as a zonal champion. The two schools that come first, or the first and second schools, will represent the zone at the national level. Who gets this one? So we can do the scores for round 6, and then we have the final scores later. So the round 6 scores. Tattoo and UDS had no scores. SD Dombo had 6 points. Please show some love. All right, so are we ready with the final results, ladies and gentlemen? Whilst we compute the final results, remember that this program is brought to us by a number of stakeholders. GCB, we say thank you. GCB is your bank for life. They are supporting education, they are supporting Ghana. CompuGhana is powering digital learning and smart solutions with their array of services and products that they offer. GlycoLife is securing our future tomorrow, today, and they are backing the future of our business leaders. For Piva Beverages, they are telling us to stay refreshed. They are the official test quenchers of the academic violence. Girl Ghana is our trusted energy partner. They are fueling our minds. They are also fueling the progress that we are making in this contest. PwC, we say a very big thank you to you. You are building trust and solving important problems. We are proud to have you on board always. MTN Ghana, everywhere you go, they are powering this contest, and we say thank you for connecting the minds and transforming lives. A big shout out to our proud organizer and headline sponsor, ICAG. They are raising the bar for business excellence in Ghana. And of course, Graphic Business. A big salute to you. They are Ghana's leading business newspaper. They set the pace in business journalism. Ladies and gentlemen, the final scores at the end of the contest. Ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the contest, the following are the final scores. University for Development Studies from Tamale in the Northern Region had 27 points. Tamale Technical University, also from the Northern Region, Tamale, had 36 points. SD Dombo University of Business and Integrated Development Studies had 43 points. Ladies and gentlemen, by these results and by the powers in me vested as the quiz master of the Tertiary Business Science Challenge and the lover of academic violence, yes, I hereby declare, I hereby install, I hereby recognize the SD Dombo University of Business and Integrated Development Studies as the 2025 Northern Zone champions. Congratulations. Congratulations to you, SD Dombo University. Tamale Technical University, congratulations, you've qualified to the national championship. Last year, you could not make it past the first round. You could not even make it to the final. But this year, you came to the final, and you have indeed showed that you are capable, and you have made it to the national championship. Congratulations to you, Tamale Technical University. University for Development Studies, unfortunately, you cannot defend your zonal championship. Last year, you won the zonal championship. This year, unfortunately, you have not been able to defend it. You tried, you did your best, but on the day, I want to believe that you feel you could have done better. You were not at your very best, as we know you. So we hope that you go back, prepare, and come back better next year. Unfortunately, we will not be seeing you in the national championship this year. That is UDS. That is quite unfortunate, looking at the fact that you were at the semi-final of the national championship last year. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's done, it's dusted. Yes, the Northern Zone is over. It has been KG contest upon KG contest. This one went down to the wire. The scores are not very far from one another. At the end of the competition, in the Northern Zone, it is the men from Wa in the Upper West region. They stormed Tamale. They defeated Tamale. They have won. Last year they lost. This year they made amends. Congratulations to you, SD Dombo. Joining SD Dombo is the Tamale Technical University. They've also qualified to represent the zone at the national championship. UDS fell off their mark this year. I believe they will prepare and come back stronger in 2026. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's been an interesting and exciting contest at the Northern Zone. It has come to an end. Up next will be the Middle Zone. On behalf of my technical team led by Yvonne Ai, supported ably by David Abel, Felix, Stella, and all the guys at the back. Forgive me for that. Thank you so much for ensuring that we brought this contest to a successful end. Our proud sponsors, we have ICAG, MTN Ghana, PwC Gold Ghana, we have Piva Beverages, Glyco Life, Compi Ghana, and GCB Bank. Our media partners, Daily Graphic, Graphic Online, and TV3. Remember, the program was brought to us by Graphic Business in partnership with the Institute of Chartered Accountants Ghana. Until we come your way again with the middle zone contest. My name is Al Hassan Yusuf Traule, and I love academic violence. I'll see you some other time. Bye-bye for now. Audience is ready. Studio audience, I must say, are gingered up. Last quarterfinal contest for day one is upon us. To Mudaraba and Musharaka in Islamic finance. I asked you to state and explain. You haven't explained. I want you to explain the point that you have mentioned. Join me as we want to experience some academic violence this afternoon. Team Gamma, 8 members with individual coding speed of 11 tasks per day, operate at 80% efficiency. Determine how many days each team will take to complete the project. Back if you should lose this one. A place at the semi-final is what is at stake. You are tempted to score. Bonus for Central University. On that note, we come to the end of round 4A, ladies and gentlemen. Next set of questions, University of Education, Winneba. 2024 edition of the